Hey, this is Emily from The Way We Hunt, and today we're gonna make barbecue bourbon meatballs. And I just am gonna use some venison that we harvested last year. You need 1 pound of meat, you need bacon, you need bourbon, and you just only need a few spices, which include parsley, salt, chili powder, obviously barbecue sauce, and some breadcrumbs. So the first thing I'm gonna do, oh, did I say bacon? Because you always need bacon. We're gonna take our bacon, 6 slices, and I'm gonna put it in our food processor, and I'm gonna grind it up. Then I'm gonna add my onion, which was supposed to be a white onion, but all we had was a purple or red. Is it a red onion or a purple onion? Regardless. So now I'm gonna add my bacon to the food processor. See how this goes. A little fancy Ninja food processor. And let's blend and see what happens. So the recipe said to do it a minute, but I feel like that actually looks really good. It looks nice and pulverized. Now I'm just gonna throw my onion in. And you only need half of one. We'll do the same thing. I think I need to mix that a little bit. Grab a utensil. Gonna get it off the sides. The bacon's made it sticky and the onion's not mincing as well as I would like. So let's try that. Take a look. Hi, Charlie. Every time we're in the kitchen or we're filming, he likes to make a lot of noise. Hey, I'm filming. You have food. You're fine. I know. Something's happening. All right, we'll do it real quick one more time, and I think that'll be good. Yeah, buddy, that looks good. All right, so I'm gonna cut open my package of meat. It calls for 1 pound. I actually found, we usually package our stuff in 2 pounds. I actually found one that was just a 1 pound package. Throw it in a bowl here. Take the blades out. Try not to cut my finger off. For those of you that know, there's an inside joke. I don't know if it's a joke. Inside story. Add all of this in the bowl. We've got the Rectech outside going right now, so it'll be nice and hot for us. Then I'm gonna add my ½ a cup of breadcrumbs. I've already pre-measured out my salt, my parsley, and my chili powder. I think it's a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of parsley, and a teaspoon of chili powder. Dump that in. And then I pre-measured, you need 3 tablespoons of bourbon, your choice. And we'll get this all mixed up. Recipe says that it should make 24 small meatballs. We'll cook the meatballs first, pull them out, set them to the side, add some water and our barbecue sauce into our cast iron. Put the meatballs back in after you've drained the grease off, because this is going to be very greasy. After you drain the grease off, put the meatballs back in with the barbecue sauce and a little bit of water. And then you're going to let it simmer for about 10 minutes. For some reason, we have misplaced our large cast iron. Not a clue where it went. We travel with it, so maybe we left it somewhere. If not, we're gonna have to buy another one because I'm not gonna be able to fit all of these meatballs in the cast iron that I did find. So this is gonna take a little longer than it should. That's all right. With the magic of editing, you'll have to see the extended process. So that looks pretty good right there. And then I'll just make some meatballs. I'm probably just gonna throw them on a baking pan. That would probably be the easiest way to do this. Pull out. Wax paper was right there. Wax paper is always a good choice because the meatballs won't stick to it. And let's see how uniform we make these. I don't think they're supposed to be very big because it's only 1 pound of meat. That looks good though. That bacon minced up real nice. I was a little concerned how it would do. Our Ninja's pretty powerful. And with bacon being as sticky as it is, I was afraid it wouldn't mince very well, but I think it did a good job. The more uniform and the same size meatballs that you get, you want them about the same size so that they all cook evenly at the same speed. If you start getting meatballs that are different sizes, then some are going to cook quicker than others, and you don't want that because it's just a pain. So I don't know if I made the meatballs too small, but this is actually going to make more than 24, which is fine. I like that size. I don't want them too big. They'll take longer to cook the bigger they are. I think it's probably going to actually make closer to 30. Oh, Charlie. If you guys ever thought about getting a Bengal, the incessant noise in the background is something that you need to take into account when getting that breed of cat. He likes to talk a lot. Actually, I think he just likes to whine a lot. It's more whining than it is talking, which is fine until we start filming, or it's 6 o'clock in the morning and he thinks he's starving. Or you get on the phone. He likes to howl like that when you get on the phone. He doesn't know what to think about the camera, does he? Oh, he's a little camera shy. This is your big moment, Charlie. Don't ruin it. And the last one. Yep, it's the last one, Charlie. That one's a little bigger than the rest. So, 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, around there. Cool, awesome. All right, so we're gonna grab the pan, we're gonna grab the cast iron, and we're gonna run outside and put this on the Rectech. We're gonna take a little bit of vegetable oil, and you can hear the neighbors in the background. I don't know how much it isn't. I'm gonna probably have to add a little bit more. I'm gonna start the big meatball first. You don't want to crowd them too much. You want to give them a little room to breathe and cook because you're going to be turning them too. We'll start the cooking process and you'll see the result here in a second. And because nothing ever goes right when I cook, it seems, I went back and looked at the recipe and I was supposed to add egg in with the meat and the bourbon in with the barbecue sauce. So there's no egg and the bourbon went in with the meat instead of the barbecue sauce. So if you make this at home, make sure that you get that right and do as I write, not as I do, if that makes sense. So meatballs took a little bit longer. I ended up increasing the heat on the RecTech to 400, but we're done now. I got rid of the excess grease. We're gonna add the meatballs back in with a cup of barbecue sauce and half a cup of water. And since I don't have the bourbon, I might have to use a little bit more water. Like nothing's gone right, but it'll work out. So we're gonna make do. Okay, here's our done meatballs. I made sure and checked that they were all to a safe eating temperature. I'm gonna add them back in. Add my cup of barbecue sauce. And my water. And then I'm going to stay out here and let these simmer for about 10 minutes in the sauce, flipping them quite regularly so they're coated in the barbecue sauce. So I feel like our neighbors are having way more fun than we are right now. They're over on the trampoline screaming their heads off, and I'm over here screwing this recipe up. But that's not really that big of a deal. You know, when you're cooking wild game or any recipe, if you screw up, if it's not just like you didn't burn the house down, you can still make it work. And the flavor might be a little bit different because I didn't meld it like the recipe wanted, but is what it is, and I'm not upset about it. It's venison barbecue bourbon meatballs. So, gonna be good regardless, I think. All right, I think they're done. A few of them fell apart because I didn't have egg in there, but that's okay. And we're gonna try it. There's a nice one right there, one that fell apart. This is gonna be nice and hot. Just came off of 400 temperature, RecTech. It's really good. I was a little concerned since I put the bourbon in with the meat instead of in with the barbecue sauce, because it gave the meat a weird smell. Smelled like bourbon, I guess. But with the barbecue sauce, because I had tried one before I put the barbecue sauce in there, and it tasted good. It just had a weird flavor, but man, with the barbecue sauce, that like really brought everything together. And it's actually kind of sweet. It's really good. So this is definitely a recipe that you guys need to make, and I'm gonna eat the rest of this one. Yeah, I'm pleased. That turned out good. Even with everything that went wrong, that's still really good. So, make sure to make this and keep following us for content. We're dropping some new stuff. We got a ton of stuff that we filmed, and Ryan is just editing night and day. So, we'll see you again here in a little bit, and this is the way we hunt.
this day keeps getting better and better. Now it's raining hard. And our escape raft.
We've been all over the U.S. and a few countries hunting and fishing. And now we want to take you on those adventures with us.
And if you stick around, we're going to try to share some tips and tricks with you, so hopefully you can do the same thing. So check us out.